How you doing, people? Robert here, AKA Robess, Anti-Corruption Scotland. I'm going to do a video on a subject that affects the men and women, sons and daughters every day of their life. And it's a very serious topic. So what I would say, pay attention and listen. You might learn something. So the topic is democracy. Democracy. What is this? Democracy is when we have a sovereign government that represent the people, that gives value for money, supply services such as hospital services, dental services, council services, water services, etc., etc., where people have freedom of speech, freedom of choice, to live their life in peace, not be coerced with a corporation known as government, a dead legal entity with men and women hiding behind the mask government. Right? The question, do we have democracy? Oh, let me verify some in private capacity. We don't even have anything that looks like democracy, especially when they're attacking pensioners' pensions, robbing the poor from their benefits, spying on the people, coercing the people with their rules, regulations and policies. And as far as I'm concerned, this is not or should not be allowed to happen. We do not have democracy in the landmass of Scotland, the landmass of England, the landmass of Wales and the landmass of Ireland. We don't have a justice system where tyrants that come from outside countries into this country and be allowed to rape sons and daughters and women and get away with it. The other problem we have, people think they have human rights. Human rights has nothing to do with men, women, sons and daughters. It's a legal terminology to deceive the people. This so-called legal system, legal society, create the legal rights. They determine if the person or the citizens have legal rights. And on that basis, you have no rights. So we're clear. Men and women, sons and daughters have inalienable and inherent rights, and the laws inherent within. Do no harm, loss or injury, commit theft, property damage or fraud within a lawful contract. That is a law. Anything outside the scope of that is not law, it's fraud. These men and women are acting ultra vires, malfeasance in public office and committing treason and getting away with it because of the indoctrination of the people. They don't know any better because they've been indoctrinated all their life, the same as I was before I woke up, to do what they're told, like modern day slaves. We cannot have that, people. People, men, women, sons and daughters, no persons or citizens, have to change their mentality of thinking, because right now, if you think this is bad, it's not even started. Okay? Democracy as well is where we don't have digital ID, digital currency, 15-minute cities with their global elite, face recognition. That's not democracy, that's control, and we cannot allow that by corporations like the WEF, the WHO and United Nations. They have no jurisdiction, they have no control or power over the people, the men, women, sons and daughters, if they would only realise the authority and power they have within. Now, I've just given a brief description of democracy. Now I'm going to give a description of the illusion of democracy. What is the illusion of democracy? The illusion of democracy is where we have corporations masquerading as governments. The illusion of democracy is when they put it across that everything they do is for the people's interest. The pensioners, the sick, the deprivation and poverty, the homeless, the rape, the abuse and traffic of sons and daughters, the theft of properties, the theft of sons and daughters. That's the illusion of democracy. Legal nonsense used to abuse powers and authority over men and women, son and daughters, and I mean flesh and blood, living men and women, sons and daughters. Again, no persons, citizens or anything in the legal terminology called legalese applies to the living man, the living woman, living son, living daughter. Now, you'll get critics out there who'll slap me for what I'm saying, but what I'm telling you, I can verify under a charge of perjury. Any court jurisdiction in the lands of Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales, Court of Session, Supreme Court and beyond. Because through experience of the last 14 years now, I've just passed that deadline, 14 year. I've learned a lot, I've educated myself a lot, and I've been through a lot with my family, with this system. And I know many a family that's been through this nonsense with this system. It's like the legal system, legal society, say they've passed the bill for assisted dying. Well, that's a dangerous thing to do. It's okay, it's not okay, but people suffer as close to death and they're in misery. That's different. But you're probably giving the so-called doctors in these hospitals the power to do not resuscitate with this bill. There'll be a lot of hidden stuff in this bill that's not been disclosed to the people. I'm going to look at this bill. I need to find out what this is. People are giving their power away and being abused in the process. There is no ifs or buts. Now, let's get to how the people get into this situation. How do people get into this situation is they register to vote. They fill in their paperwork, all capital name, black ink, in boxes, sign of the dead. Capitis diminutio, Latin for loss of status, and capitis diminutio is the highest loss of status a man, a woman or a son or daughter can get. This so-called tyrant Stammer, this so-called tyrant Rayner, and this so-called tyrant Reeves, and every other man or woman acting in capacities MP, councillor, MSP, politician, right, do not care about the people, have no empathy for the people, and treat the people like shit, as you can see every day. We see what's happening. They have an agenda, people, and people have to understand this agenda is a very dangerous agenda. It's not for the people, it's not for the elderly, it's not for the sick, and it's not for the sons and daughters. They want to rob the people. They want to leave the people with nothing. Own nothing and be happy is their terminology. And that's the way it's going. If people sit back and keep letting it go the way it goes. It's devastating what's happened to our people through the land masses of Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales and beyond worldwide. It's terrible that people are allowing these corporations to get away with this, including genocide at the highest level, murder at the highest level. I don't know what it's going to take for people to waken up. Like you see something about a migrant the other day, people kicking and jumping in police vans, right? I don't agree with that. As far as I know, the migrant they were fighting about is in remand. The thing of the matter is, we know the police are corrupt to the core. We know they're paid liars and traitors to the people. They're a private corporation, every part of that police system, the court system, the procurator fiscal system. They work against the people, and that's a fact. The problem we've got is people don't know their standing. And they have to, again, change the mentality of thinking and work out who and what they are, know who they're presumed to be or who they are told to be. Kicking and jumping in police vans isn't acceptable, right? Who is the tyrants that's causing the problems? The rats that you elected into power, or the biggest majority didn't elect. This is the thing. Most of the people out there, apart from the people that's woke up are psycho-conditioned dummies. That's what they are. They don't know right from wrong. And they go with the narrative of the legal system, legal society, with the media, political broadcasts, radio stations, radio shows, listen to politics or politics with politicians, their lies, fraud and deception. These people wouldn't know what the truth was if it jumped up and slapped them in the face. Doesn't matter what these people say on TV about how bad it is and they try to do this or try to do that. That's all a cover, it's a distraction, including Farage. He's another distraction, people. He's on a presumption that he's going to be the fictitious entity known as Prime Minister in 4 years. He could be dead and buried tomorrow. Strange things happen in life, right? Don't take this for granted. He's shouting a good shout, right? As I says, it's not about me not liking the guy. I don't trust him. Because I don't think he's doing enough to put a stop to this. Right? And just remember, it's my understanding he was a banker at one point. So he was part of that system that was screwing the people. And that's a fact. If he wasn't a banker, please correct me if I'm wrong. But it's my understanding he was a banker. Right? And you know what bankers do to the people? Everything in this system is a private corporation, people. Technically, we have millions upon millions of people in the lands of Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales. It outnumbers everything in this legal system, legal society. But there's a lawful way of doing things. No legal, other legal, a lawful way. And people have to stop what they're doing, walking on streets, marching, petitioning to beg, because you're not being listened to. Even right now, doing nothing, you're still not being listened to. These people like Stammer, Rayner and Reeves and the rest of these tyrants think that they can do what they want because the people's ignorance, right? As I said a few times in the past videos, we have to shut the country down. You have to challenge the men and women, councillors, MPs, MSPs and put them on notice and tell them if they don't cease and desist, we will defy, resist and do not comply. That's how we do this. Resist, defy, do not comply. Again, people, I would say the biggest majority of people in Scotland are cowards because in Scotland they're doing nothing. England and Ireland, although there's a lot of trouble, is doing something. They're fighting back. Up in Scotland, Wales, I don't know too much about Wales. I don't see much happening in Wales. Are doing nothing and accepting. Now, I had a dispute with somebody the other day online about Sweeney and the SNP, right? They keep shouting about this independent Scotland. Well, Scotland is independent, but we the people have to take it back. The Act of Union and every treaty and agreement is done by corporations. We never signed up to that. We did not consent to that. But they did what they did and get away with because of people's ignorance. Acquiescence, silence is consent. Like every time they pass a bill or a rule, regulation and policy, they put it kinda in the media, dribs and drabs, drip feed the people, and then they pass it. And because it's no challenged and rebutted, that's how it stands. As I told you in the last video, the 12 presumptions of law in their Tom and Jerry corporate places of business known as statutory courts, if they are not rebutted, they stand as a fact, and you become under the Bargill rules, regulations and policies that they create. And remember, the legislation is created by solicitors, lawyers, liars, right? That's who creates the legislation, and their legislators are all party the entities known as governments that are against the people. We have to shut this full country down lawfully, people. We have to protect our people, our sons and daughters, our elderly, our sick, take our services back, right? And take back control. And the only way to do that is a one people government. The people pick the government and we remove the politicians and shut them down. We can do this, people, but we have to get a lot of clever people together to achieve this goal, and it can be done. Registering to vote, you're signing your rights away, lawful, inalienable and inherent rights. You're signing the proper laws away. If the people wanted to really make change, a one people government's the only option. Nobody talks about this. I've mentioned it umpteen times, but I've never took on a conversation on it. That is the only way forward, right? For Jewish people that's getting voting forms in Scotland right now, and the ones that's woke up that don't want to vote, right across it, if you go to the polling station, do not consent at a 45-degree angle and spoil the ballot and the proper, according, right, the way to do it, right, properly. Or you can just throw it in the bin, right? These people think that they control the men, women, sons and daughters, but they wouldn't if the people knew their standing. It upsets me to see things can be done to stop this, but the people are doing what they do. Like that, jumping in vans, police vans and kicking vans and trying to smash them. That isn't honourable people. That's just people out there to cause trouble. That's not the way to do that, right? They're not the problem. They're only there to try and keep the peace, even though they're corrupt to the core, they're paid liars and abusers of power. The ones to deal with is the ones that put the people in the lands of Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales in this position. Right? That's the ones that needs to be dealt with. We have to get rid of them. They don't have the power that they claim to have if the people knew their standing. And the people grew up here, right? We the people, with the amount of people in this country, have the right to stop this. Where do these corporations with Stammer get the money to give all certain different entities money for farmers, for this, for that? That's nothing to do with our country when our people are starving, struggling to pay their bills, right? Where does Stammer get the power to get involved in wars that's nothing to do with our people and put our people at risk of being harmed? He doesn't have that power. One man doesn't have that power in any government. It's the illusion of democracy, people. It's a theatre full of actors. And the sooner people realise that, the better. Again, I'm kind of astonished to see what's happening here and how it's happening. I can see right through the glass window and see what everything's going on, but everybody else is blinded. They don't know what to do. So they do things that shouldn't be done and make things worse. Somebody contacted me today and says that somebody was on YouTube and DWP sent him a letter relating to a delivery meal and a pair of glasses that they bought, said it was luxuries. Well, the point here is the DWP can't write any letters, people. As I keep telling you, it's a fiction, a dead legal entity that has no life. It's dead speak, right? And you're still falling into the category of ignorance. You don't know and understand what's going on here. There is no man or woman called DWP. There is no man or woman called government. There is no man or woman called politician. There is no man or woman called Police Scotland. Local authority. Fire services. Barlinnie prison. Salton prison. These are all fictitious, dead, legal entity names to escape liability. And you still don't get it. And I've tried over the last 14 years to educate the people what's happening here. There is nobody called police constable, police officer, but all these fictitious names, fictitious entities, the mass they hide behind, it's men and women that invoke, enforce their will on the people. Order people when they've not got the power to order any man, woman, son or daughter, if these people and all people knew who and what they are. I wish people would really listen to somebody that knows what they're talking about, right? I'm hearing people slating as well. This is how far stupid is going. The free man of the land, right? Nobody is free in any land. The free man of the land is a court case that they use to shut people down when they get in and try and fight for their rights. I think it's I'm not sure, can't get it off the top of my head, a Canadian case where a guy was going in and he caused himself a lot of trouble. I think he got himself to jail, right? And they class him as a free man on the land. You're not a free man, you're not a free woman. Nobody's free. And nobody's going to be free if people don't get their head out their arses, start paying attention, start listening, and start realising who and what they are. Right? We the people, all people, have the power to stop this. Now, where does Stammer get the power to let people in this country that was never born here put nothing into this system? And before people start shouting, I'm not being racist, I'm telling a fact. Where does he get that to use the public purse to pay for them in hotels, get them food, get them mobile phones, right? Now, the other day, we seen, I think it was in GB News, the French police authorities passing life jackets to these people on boats instead of stabbing the boats and stopping them from coming over here. This is a big game. This is a worldwide problem, people. This is done with intentionally destroying countries. The sovereignty of the lands of Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales and every worldwide country anywhere in the world. This is what this is. This is all part of the Agenda 2030. And that's a fact. People should start looking at the Agenda 2030. Right? That's their end game. And the way people are doing things, they're doing it the wrong way as far as I'm concerned. You have to change your thinking, people. You have to look at shutting this country down, every part of this country, and it can be done. Stock up, fuel, food, everything else. Do not use public services. Do not buy food. Stop using everything. Shut it down for a minimum of a month and see what happens. Once you start starving the beast, then you'll see change, right? Stammer should be away a long time ago. Right? And the other thing, the politicians, right, and the parliaments, the entities known as parliaments, when this character stammers in place and he sets up things that he's going to pass, right, this is how the game is played. If they decide to remove him and things are put in place for the next entity known as government with some other tyrant political party, they enforce what he left behind. That's how they keep it going. That's how they keep the vicious circle going, people. They're all working hand in hand. As I said earlier in the video, it's an illusion. It's trickery. It's a theatre. It's full of actors. And they're taking the piss. And that's me putting it politely. Please, people, wake up. Smell the coffee. There is something can be done. And that something is shut the country down and start considering the option of a one people government. One people government, if we can take the government that at the way it's in place, take the parliament back, take the lands of Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales back, then we get control of everything. We can take the courts back and stop the criminality against the people. And that's a fact. And it's the truth. No misinformation here. Everything's truth. And everything I tell you, people, is with good heart, good intention. No misinformation. I'm not trying to deceive you. Again, I keep saying this, I don't ask you for money, fund me, PayPals. I tell you this way, good heart. Right? Try to wake you up. Try to get you to understand. And I don't mean stand under my authority, because I don't have any authority. Every man and woman, son and daughter have their own authority within. It's just getting them to realise that. Please, people, you have to do something, and do something now, lawfully. And I don't mean smashing up police vans or anything. There's a lawful way to do things, and right now what I see out there, and I watch a lot of things, is unlawful. And it's not going to serve any purpose, because what's going to happen with all this violence against these tyrant police constables, police officers, whatever you want to call us, when people are doing something lawfully in the street, they're going to get targeted and treated like a piece of shit, arrested, flung to the ground, false imprisonment, right? Because people out there are jumping on the bandwagon and just causing trouble. We the people know that these people in this system are dishonourable. As I said a video or two, maybe three back, I wouldn't trust these people with my wee dog. I wouldn't trust these people with any dog, right? But the people have to do something about it. I'm hoping this video here, people, gives you food for thought. Because if people keep doing what they're doing the way they're doing it, you're going to achieve nothing, people. Seriously, you're going to achieve nothing. You're going to be stripped to your benefits. We're going to be stripped to your health service. You're going to be stripped to your pensions. They want you to have nothing. The motto is with the 2030 agenda, own nothing and be happy. That's their agenda. That's their final outcome. Right? Everything is based in fraud and deception in this system. Every man and woman representing this legal system is paid liars. They're traitors to the people at the highest level. As I say, I've got an ABC rule. Accept nothing from people that represent or work in a legal system, legal society. They're all paid tyrants. Believe nothing from people that work or represent a legal system. They're all paid tyrants. And challenge everything. Everything's open to challenge. But the problem, even when we challenge it, the problem is we have no control over it, because every part of this system, the courts, police, local authorities, councils, governments, you name it, etc., are all working together to screw the people. The men, women, sons and daughters. No persons or citizens. Men, women, sons and daughters. The creation, it came from the mother. That has life, flesh and blood. And that's a fact. Okay, people. I hope this video makes sense. The next video is I'm going to give an example of what a one people government could achieve. And then we'll take it from there. I'll continue with the rest of the videos I've got to do that I fell behind with, because I had matters in my own life to deal with that's been dealt with for the time being. No doubt they'll be back to annoy myself, but I'll fight back, as I always do, as I've always done for the last 14 years. Over it now. Not much over it, but it's over it now. And all I want to see is change for the people. The stop of abuse of sons and daughters, rape, and the trafficking. I want to see the sick getting proper help with medical services. No left to die and suffer. I want to see the deprivation and poverty stopping, because it can be stopped. The problem is these corporate entities don't want to stop it, because that's them in control, even with the food banks, right? They think they pull the strings on the people, but if the people wake up and realise what's happening, know they're standing, we can turn that around 180 degrees and nip it in the bud. And I'll swear that. A charge of perjury. And I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, it's truth and it can be done. But the people really have to do it. As I said, we need people, all people in the land mass of England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales, to wake up, smell the coffee, know who and what they are, right? And we can get this sorted. Only the people can sort this. Politicians, with their politics and lies, don't care. I don't care what they say on the news conferences. I don't care what they say in their conferences and the big fancy bills is making mega bucks, right? The only people that can save the people, the only people that can save the elderly, the only people that can save the sick, the only people that can stop the deprivation and poverty, the only people that can stop the homelessness is the people themselves. Only the people can save themselves, right? You, the people, can save yourself, but you have to want to save yourself, but lawfully. Please give me feedback on this video, because this is I don't take this video lightly, people, because this isn't a game anymore. They're dealing with your lives. They're committing genocide, murder, right? The media is the spreader of the virus, BBC and all the rest of them, and the government is the virus, right? They're the main virus in this people's lives, and the media is the spreaders of that virus and causing division with their lies and misinformation. People like myself don't give out misinformation, people. I give you the truth, and I'm one of the main truthers in Scotland. Whether you believe it or understand it or not, it's a fact. Anyway, people, please share this video far and wide. Get this information out there and start to think what I've said in this video, because it's all true. But as I said in the last video, you can take a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink it. In the case of the legal system, legal society, they're dragging you to water. You're getting forced to drink it whether you want it or not. You have no choice, and that's the problem. We do have a choice, and it's up to the people of the landmass of Scotland, England, and Wales to make the right choice. Anyway, people, I'm going to leave it there. You people have a lovely day with your families or your friends or whatever. Take care. Please share this video far and wide. And I'll be back soon with more information, right? And please have faith in what I tell you. It's the truth, people. I've no reason to lie. I hope that people get this in this video. I really do. Take care, people. Be safe. I'll speak soon.